This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876 309 6128. That's 876 309 6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876 586 0471. That's 876 586 0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices, infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beaten thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Call now and you won't be disappointed. If you think the juices were good, then try Starboys Jello, full of flavor and sumptuous. Again, call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. And this is an update for you guys that the governing body of football within the region, Concacaf, have commended Jamaica and congratulated Jamaica for picking up their first win in the FIFA Women's World Cup. CONCACAF have congratulated Jamaica after the 1-0 victory over Panama in the World Cup. Alison Swaby scoring for Jamaica. Alison Swaby is the first defender to score for Jamaica in a World Cup since Zelana Barnes, who scored for Jamaica at the Under-17 World Cup in 2011 in Mexico. Jamaica also has 4 points, and that is the most points that Jamaica has ever picked up in the history of a Women's World Cup, and also any Jamaican team at a World Cup, 4 points, and a great opportunity to get more as well. So, in the grand scheme of things now, let's have a read a little bit. Everton, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Let's read a little bit in terms of the article, in terms of congratulations. History was made. Congratulations from CONCACAF. A little bit on a match report side of things as well from this sort of angle. But I want to let you know that commendation, we all thrive from commendation. And when the governing body of football within your confederation is able to do something of this nature, it's fantastic. And I want you to look at specifically the CONCACAF teams at this present World Cup. The United States are on 4 points. Canada are on 4 points. Jamaica are on 4 points. Costa Rica, Haiti, and Panama are still without a point. So the 3 Anglophone-speaking nations within CONCACAF at this World Cup have points on the board. The 2 Hispanophone nations without a point, and also Haiti without a point at this point in time. However, despite Costa Rica, Panama being out of contention to qualify for the next round, they can still have an impact for future tournaments. And I will explain why this is the case. And simply, it's because of this. A Costa Rica victory over Zambia means so much because it's a CONCACAF victory over an African Football Confederation team victory. And that is more weight in terms of the quality points and coefficient for CONCACAF teams in future world events, especially on the women's standpoint. So for this World Cup, remember, CONCACAF has 4 full spots and 2 intercontinental playoff berths. Remember, it was the United States, Canada, Jamaica, and Costa Rica that qualified automatically for the World Cup. Haiti and Panama came through the playoffs. So, with all of that being said now, a Costa Rica victory over Zambia, a Haiti result against Denmark, a Panama result against France, all of that adds up in the grand scheme of things. Brownman Security 33 Good Sound says, "Bless up, Simon. Bless up. How are you doing, sir? I hope you are doing well." So all of those results makes a massive impact. The United States topping their group over the Netherlands, Canada with a result against Australia, Jamaica against Brazil. All of these things do add up. Hey, Siobhan Pierce, how are you doing? So remember, as I said, there are 6 CONCACAF teams at this World Cup, 4 qualified automatically, and 2 via the Intercontinental Playoff. In 2027, it will also be a 32-team Women's World Cup. What we don't know at this point in time is the slot allocation. However, if 3 of the 6 CONCACAF teams at this present World Cup advances to minimum the round of 16, then CONCACAF will maintain to have the same slot allocation for the next World Cup cycle. Let's say, for an example, as well, that from of the 3 CONCACAF teams that get to the round of 16, one of those 3 has a deep run, semifinals or final, then it will also solidify that slot allocation as well. And if a CONCACAF team wins the World Cup, the possibility exists that the slot allocation can increase. It could be a possibility of Asia losing 1 or Africa losing 1 by virtue of the results that we're currently seeing. Philippines had a massive loss. So did Morocco. They had a massive loss as well. All of these things are taken into consideration. So once CONCACAF teams do their part, then it helps. Because remember, in the 2019 World Cup, there were 3 automatic spots for CONCACAF and 1 intercontinental playoff berth. But by virtue of the United States winning the last World Cup, and by virtue of Canada getting to the round of 16, 2/3 of the CONCACAF teams getting minimum to the round of 16, so that's 66.6%, doing that, that meant CONCACAF not only had 3, but now 4 automatic berths, and also there are 2 intercontinental berths. So who knows what the next cycle could be? Could be 5 automatic berths and 2 via the playoffs. Or it could be 4 automatic and 3 via the playoffs. So we will see how that goes. But again, the results at this World Cup do make a massive, massive, massive determination on that. So honestly, all CONCACAF teams at this World Cup, I want them to continue doing their best. I would like Costa Rica to get the better of Zambia. I would like Haiti to get the better of Denmark. I would like Panama to get the better of France. I would like the United States to defeat Portugal. I would like Canada to defeat Australia. And of course, our nation, Jamaica, to get the better of Brazil. It does well. This is the first time in the history of the Women's World Cup and any World Cup that there are 6 CONCACAF teams. The most teams that we've ever seen at any CONCACAF World Cup is 4. On the men's side, on the 17, on the 20, 4 spots. And this is 6 spots. 6 spots. You see what I'm saying? So with all of that being said now, we have to be behind Concacaf so that come 2027, there's more as well. The only thing that could adjust or mean a reduction in spots is if the United States and Mexico co-hosts the 2027 World Cup. So the United States will and Mexico have a bid for the next World Cup. Let me see what Siobhan Peart is saying here. Simon, I saw the photo of you, Jeff have posted you after the game. You look like a proud father scene. Oh, with me standing up and clapping. Yeah, of course, very proud. July 29, 2023 is a day that we shouldn't forget. Just like June 26, 1998, just like November 16, 1997, just like October 17, 2018, just like July 11, 2022. All of these days we shouldn't forget. Just like May 27, 2016, all of these dates we should not forget as Jamaicans because they're important days that we did amazing things. So, all of that in consideration, we should be happy, we should be thrilled, we should be excited. And there are plenty more to come. Right, so going back to the point about 2027, if Mexico and the United States co-host the next World Cup, that's 2 spots. So the only augmentation that would be made is a CONCACAF, instead of having 4 spots, it could be 2 automatic and 2 via the intercontinental berth, or 3 automatic and 1 via the intercontinental. So those are the things that will be considered as well. But we'll see, because there's a strong bid from South Africa, a strong bid from Brazil, and of course Belgium. There's also a bid there as well. So we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's imperative for CONCACAF, extremely imperative for CONCACAF to ensure that these results take place. Let's see what Siobhan Peart is saying. I just wish more Jamaicans were supportive of. I haven't seen anything. Siobhan, I think everything in life is just a matter of time. It wasn't until Jamaica got to the quarterfinals of the Lacrosse World Cup where you started to see a lot of rave on social media. It wasn't until Jamaica got to the gold medal game in the Commonwealth Games for the Sunshine Girls that you felt a bit of momentum. So I think it's all about consistency. I think once you win, once you continue to get positive results, persons will be behind you. Yeah. Okay, Gary, I'll make a note about it. Okay? So yes, I'll make a note about it. Siobhan Peart, but I promise you though, a draw against the Brazilians, a win against the Brazilians, yeah, you will hear pandemonium in the country, I'm sure. From Negril Point to Morant Point, and I'm sure similar sorts of rave as when Shelley and Fraser Price gets the gold medal at the World Championship, which is in August. And another thing we have to consider, what would you say was Jamaica's greatest sporting success of the summer? Is it 1, the Reggae Boys getting to the semi-finals of the Gold Cup? Is it 2, Jamaica getting to the quarterfinals of the Men's Lacrosse World Cup? 3, the Reggae Girls and the deep run in the Women's World Cup? 4, Jamaica's performances at the Athletics World Championships? 5, Jamaica qualifying for the Hockey World Cup? Or yeah, what would be considered Jamaica's greatest sporting achievement of the summer? qualifying for a Hockey World Cup, going to the quarterfinals of a World Cup, the Sunshine Girls winning the World Cup, what would be the moment of the summer, or you could even say the moment of the year from a sporting perspective? Because you hear these conversations being heard, and Geraldine said all of them, the whole of them. And I'm going to have to agree with you, all of them. Because if you break one down individually and you put each one under the microscope, there are different circumstances for each. So, for an example, when you look at the Jamaica's lacrosse team finishing eighth at the Lacrosse World Cup, they're now Jamaica's highest ranked male sports team. No Jamaican's men's sports team outside of lacrosse has been eighth in the world. The Reggae Boys are yet to be eighth in the world. We'll get there one day. Jamaica's basketball team, hockey team, basketball, rugby team have never been eighth in the world. So to be eighth in the world is a big deal. You talk about the Sunshine Girls, Jamaica's highest ranked sports team. That's something to consider as well. And the Gold Cup, there are positives to take as well. First time in a semi-final in 4 years, first victory over Guatemala in 11 years, first victory over Trinidad and Tobago in 7 years, first time having 9 different scorers, producing Jamaica's youngest goal scorer in the Gold Cup itself. So there are many positives to take. Travis McKenzie, I understand exactly what you're saying, because Jamaica has never won a World Cup. So I understand exactly what you're saying. In any sporting discipline, Jamaica has not won a World Cup, and that would be a big deal. So I understand exactly the angle where you're coming from. 100%. I do get it. 100%, So that is something to consider. And I think it's difficult to say what is weighted higher. Jamaica, the Reggae Girls get into the quarterfinals of the Women's World Cup, or the Sunshine Girls winning the Netball World Cup. I think it's difficult for you to say this one is weighted higher than the other, because both of them are outstanding achievements. This is not the Sunshine Girls' first World Cup. This is the Reggae Girls' second World Cup. The Sunshine Girls have participated in every World Cup since 1963. And then you look at the lacrosse side of things. This is Jamaica's second World Cup, and in Jamaica's second World Cup getting to a quarterfinal. And Jamaica is undefeated against European teams at the Lacrosse World Cup, established European teams that are heavily financed, heavily backed, and Jamaica still gets victories over Germany, Poland. You see what I'm saying? Switzerland, Italy, to get to the quarterfinals. Travis McKenzie says, plenty to be proud about. You're absolutely right. Okay, says Bless Up Simon. Roger Grant says in Spanish, Estoy aquí, que me perdí. He's basically saying he's here, and what did he lose, or what did he miss? Sheffield Hayes says, big up Simon, I know you're proud. Yeah. What did you miss, Roger Grant? Well, Concacaf has commended Jamaica by virtue of their performance yesterday against Panama by getting the victory. The first time that Jamaica is winning a game at a Women's World Cup, and the third Concacaf team after USA and Canada to win a game at the Women's World Cup. I'll continue the point by mentioning this in particular. Ricardo, I don't think that is a fair statement, and I do think that a statement of that nature is quite disrespectful, because it is, one, the fastest growing game in the world in terms of participation, and in addition to that, it is a sport that is even older than association football. So I do think the statement that you're making is quite disrespectful, because all 55 sports that Jamaica plays deserve recognition, deserve praise when they're punching above their weight on the world stage. Think about any Jamaican team that has been to a quarterfinals of a World Cup. Outside of netball, it's lacrosse. We'll see what our hockey team does at the World Cup in January in Oman, but still, to brush aside things that our nation has done, it's absolutely not fair. But as soon as Jamaica is in a medal round for any of these disciplines, then you start to see a few people starting to be a bit more inquisitive about it. But I'm letting you guys know from now that the first time that Jamaica wins a World Cup outside of netball will come in two sports, lacrosse and football. Jamaica will win a World Cup one day, I believe under 17 or under 20 first, you know. We'll get there in due time. Yeah, Travis, I understand what you mean. So, as I've making mention, Roger, I was saying that it's hard to quantify what would be a greater moment or a better moment. You know, the Sunshine Girls winning the Netball World Cup versus the Reggae Girls getting to the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. To quantify and say that this was better than this, I think it's extremely difficult to say that. Bearing in mind the two different teams are coming from two different paths. The Sunshine Girls, Jamaica's netball team, have been third, fourth in the world for quite some time. The Reggae Girls were coming from a time frame of the first World Cup where there are a number of girls on the team that are in college, not professional yet, to a team now where players have matriculated to being professional footballers. So the growth there is absolutely splendid. Splendid. Yeah. But as I've made mention before in relation to this Women's World Cup, Colombia getting the victory over Germany, many people did not see that. So if Colombia tops the group and Jamaica finishes second, then that means that it would be Jamaica against Colombia in the round of 16. Compelling. But there's still another match day to go. So we'll see. Nicardo says the Reggae Girls making it to the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup is a bigger achievement than the Sunshine Girls winning the World Cup. Interesting. I would have to give that some thought. I really would. I would have to give that some thought, serious thought. I'll consider it. I'll consider it about it, you know? Getting to the quarterfinals is a big deal. I'm not brushing it aside because remember, rubbing shoulders with England, the United States, potentially Sweden, Norway, Netherlands. So that is a special bracket to be in. I don't know exactly what you're going to say. 211 countries play football versus roughly 100 that play netball. Well, technically speaking, it's just the majority of the English-speaking world that plays netball. So I do understand the point that you're referring to, Nicardo, because more countries in the world play football versus less countries that play the game of netball. But I think all sporting disciplines deserve praise and recognition for the growth that the work that they have done. Jamaica qualifying for a Hockey World Cup, big deal. Jamaica getting to the quarterfinals of a Lacrosse World Cup, big deal. Big deal. Jamaica's women's lacrosse team are 28th in the world. The only Jamaican female sports team that is ranked higher is the Sunshine Girls. We'll see after this World Cup. The Reggae Girls could be in the top 28 in the world, maybe even higher. So we'll see how FIFA does the rankings post the World Cup. D-Right, I know. Football is the best sport ever invented. Football is a beautiful game. It unites people. And it's the people's game. It's for the working class. You know? Football is a working class man's game. Yes, Gary, of course. As you know, the game against Brazil will be on Wednesday. So whether Monday, whether Tuesday, of course, there will be a preview in relation to the game against Brazil. Absolutely. That is something that we will consider. 150%. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. Troy Cox says Colombia will top the group and Jamaica will finish second. Jamaica versus Colombia would be a nice game. It would be a nice game. Very good game. Jamaica has defeated South American teams in football before. Jamaica has defeated Peru, Pan Am Games 2019. Jamaica has also defeated Ecuador, and that was at the Pan Am Games 2007. Tashana Vincent scored in that game. Jamaica has also drawn 1-1 with Uruguay. Jamaica has also defeated Paraguay as well. So Jamaica has defeated CONMEBOL teams in women's football. Of course, in due course, more information will come in relation to those matters of the situation of the approach and how things are. Okay? So, in due course, it will be discussed. So, yeah. So, yeah. Yes, Linda Caicedo. That is her name. Linda Caicedo. That is her name. Wonderful talent. The Reggae Girls is ceiling, winning the World Cup. That is the ceiling. I've done a video where I spoke about Jamaica winning the 2027 World Cup because the talent that we have right now, in 4 years' time, when they matriculate, they will be in their mid to late 20s. In the next World Cup, Bonnie might be the oldest at 29 in the grand scheme of things. Bonnie and Denisha Blackwood were both born 1997. They'll be 29 going on 30 in the next World Cup. Whereas you have the Soleil Washingtons of this world, that will be 21, 22, Cameron Simmons, 23. You think about other individuals as well, such as the Swaby sisters, late 20s, early 30s. Peyton McNamara, early 20s as well. Kiki Van Zandt and Jody Brown will be 25 by the time the next World Cup comes around. And by that time, Jody Brown will be a professional. It's amazing. This is Jody's second World Cup, and she's not professional yet. So imagine when she hits the ground running, because she's played a lot of football in her teenage years. Jody's 21 now, and she'll continue to press on. Leah Brooks will be 22. Sydney Schneider will be 27, 28. You know? Ricardo, I'm speaking specifically from a Jamaican perspective. However, the world views the game, okay, I'm talking from a Jamaican perspective. Yes, it's not at the Olympics because to be an Olympic sport, as you know, it needs to have men and women. There has to be a men's tournament and a women's tournament. And they would need 12 men's countries to play the game of netball. Jamaica has a men's netball team, but there needs to be more men's international teams for it to be an Olympic sport. Knight Rider says, so proud of Tiffany. She had a magnificent game. She had a magnificent game, and you could see early on how she was able to overlap and getting the shot on after 6 minutes with the left foot. Yeah, defended quite stoutly, admirably. So yes, she gave a good performance, and you could see that as well when she was substituted, when Xavier Gilbert and Co gave her a few pats on the back for her performance as well. So it was clear in terms of the performance that she gave that it was one of merit. So that is where we are. And many of you will be wondering in relation to the matches that will take place later today. So at 2 a.m., it's France, well, it's Japan against Spain. That's at 2 a.m. And simultaneously, it will be Costa Rica against Zambia. That's Costa Rica against Zambia, and that is at 2 a.m. At 5 a.m., another Concacaf team will take the stage. So Republic of Ireland will play Nigeria, while Canada will face Australia. So that's something for you guys to be wary about. All right. Tuesday, you will also have two CONCACAF teams involved as well on Tuesday. As well at 2 a.m., it's Portugal against the United States, and at 6 a.m., it's China against England. On Wednesday now, 5 a.m., Jamaica against Brazil. Thursday, 5 a.m., two games. No games on Friday. And then, of course, Saturday will be the round of 16 of the World Cup. She has certainly given headache to Lauren Donaldson for team selection, that is for sure, Gary Lynch. Absolutely. Picking that 11 for the next game will be. Well, Knight Rider, Kayla McKenna's most natural position is as a 9. I understand exactly what you're saying. With Bunny back in the picture, are you suggesting Bunny in the middle, Kayla McKenna one side, Jody Brown the next side? Is that what you're suggesting? Because she is naturally a 9. Well, Nicardo, whenever it comes to national awards like Sportsman of the Year, Sportswoman of the Year, you find that those that are winning the awards, those are the persons that would go on and win those trophies. You know what I'm saying? That is the point that I was making from that sort of standpoint. It's going to be tough to pick the next World Cup team, that is for sure. Extremely tough, because some of these under 20 girls will be coming as well. I spoke about Leah Brooks already, Mimi Van Zanten, that is Kiki's younger sister, Tiny Seaton, Natoya Atkinson. Some quality to come. And who knows, Jaden Matthews, Marley Frey. We haven't spoken about them as well, So those are important. So that is the situation. Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning into this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. Okay, guys. So we'll be back with so much more right here on Reggae Boys Commentary. Hit the like button, and after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beet and thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Call now and you won't be disappointed. If you think the juices were good, then try Starboys Jello, full of flavor and sumptuous. Again, call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454.